Hi company, how's it going? And this is the end of another roboteering year. And I'll admit, I didn't really compete as much as I wanted to. Pretty much like the year before. I didn't really get involved much with competing in ants. I mostly did beetles, only like 2 events. Well, 1 actually. Yeah. Whatever it was. But yeah, it was. It's been interesting, but at least, even though I haven't been competing, I have done a lot more with like my shows, my channel, and other bits and pieces. So let's take a look and see what I got up to this year.
At the start of the year, I posted the fight footage of how my Beetleweight Ultros performed near the end of last year. With a 1-2 battle score, Ultros would win me the best repair job after getting destroyed by the Walkerbot Leviathan. I'm still unsure as to how I managed to repair the damage, but I managed to get him somewhat moving again for the 2v2 battles and ended up wrecked once more. A great event which gave me new ideas to move forward with. It was an honour to be invited to build a robot for David of Smeg's LEGO Wars Series 5, and its heat featured in mid-January. With the parts I had, I created a scorpion-looking grabber called Cerulatus. My lack of experience in building with LEGO and a lack of Technic parts really showed, as Cerulatus was completely annihilated in its heat without a single win. It made for great entertainment regardless, and at the end of the series was given the Most Destroyed award, making it my 3rd Most Destroyed award. I promise I'll make a solid robot at some point. And thus begun my newest creation. Looking at my ant weights, I based my new LEGO robot on Virion with an angled bar spinner. With help from seasoned builders and using what remained of Cerulatus, I started creating a bulkier machine with a high-powered spinner, which I would name Windblade. The spin-up tests were promising, and I sent it to LEGO Wars with high hopes. After speaking with Anthony of Team Penny about my Extreme series, he would build and send over a machine called Mayhem, which would fight in the show as a wildcard warrior against Trillium, giving us a fantastic fight. Down the line, he would also send over to me 2 legends from the Antway Anarchy scene, Sting and Topbot, to fight in my shows. I would be nearly finishing the fights for the Robot Carnage Extreme series. There was 1 fight left, which was the People's Vote. After the votes came in, a matchup of Spam and Dr. Fist was to be the finale, and upon remembering I had 3D printed a test shell for Dr. Fist a few years back, it gave me an idea to make a replica build video. I got in touch with the Robot Wars guru Anderson9132, who agreed to make a cameo in the Dr. Fist build. Working together to add a comedy intro and outro, the Dr. Fist Antweight video gave everyone a laugh and the comments proved it. A massive thanks to him for helping make the video as funny as it was, and I wish him a speedy recovery after he saw it would be fighting Spam in Extreme. Robot Carnage Extreme began its 6-week-long show in May and featured some of the most intense battles seen in the show's history. It had so much upsets and surprises, just like the main series did, and several machines managed to win titles for the All-Stars, Classic Replica, and even pinball tournaments. The show received great feedback and would even bring in ideas for the next tournament. Team Penny would host Mecha Mayhem Battle of the Builders. I entered Petrify to represent me, and the competition was tough. It was great to see my machine appear on the channel, although watching her face Topbot made me a little scared. A big thanks to Team Penny for letting me be a part of the episode and for accepting my mascot into the roster. I was feeling burnt out after filming and editing Extreme, so I took a break from building. I turned to video games and found my copy of Arenas of Destruction for PS2. I filmed myself reliving the game and showed my frustration at the clunky controls and questionable gameplay. I might take a look at some other robot combat based games and do let's plays with them, but I'll just see what happens. The word of Battle in the Borough 5 had been announced for an earlier date in the year, and I had nothing ready to enter with. In 2 weeks, I quickly threw a beetle together based on my Ant Grabber Petrify, naming it Paralysis. It qualified and ended up getting the same battle score as Ultros with a 1-2 result. At least this time, I claimed the win by pitting my opponent. Entering the 2v2 battles alongside Team Freyfrox again, who entered with Sunstroke, we made it to the semi-finals again before Baby Deadbod wrecked both machines. Even with a polycarbonate shield and TPU backend, one good hit busted the electronics and paralysed Paralysis. The community praised it still and wanted to see what would happen next for the Beetleweight Grabber. I had taken a few months off Robot Combat to recharge and put together pit compilations of each series to get back into the game. The videos received okay reviews and I do wish I made them better. Also, I would post the first heat of Series 1 as shorts to see if they would be of any interest. As it turned out, it wasn't really working, and after putting up a poll, it was decided to keep the fights in the main episodes and to make something fresh instead. A box arrived for me from Team Self-Destruct, the builder of Jungle Man and creator of the channel Burning Road Productions. The box contained random parts and copy of his own Antweight, and the Shark Attack shell would help me create my next replica, Plunderbird 5. The bot turned out really well and I'm happy with the final build, even if it is a little bit fast. I did have the plans to make another replica down the line with a Jungle Man body, but that's for a later date. I wanted to put together another Christmas special like I did a couple of years ago, but the arena would need to be repaired first. I shortened the height of the arena so it was easier to see what we were doing, but it also takes up less space in the room it resides in. The pit was also fixed with extra support underneath to keep it flush to the arena floor, which it's not completely flat, but it's far better than it was, and filming the special would test it to make sure it was good to go. The pit button was also an issue due to it sometimes being tricky to hit, and so a modified toy barrel was used to help knocking it in just a little bit easier. The episode was finished just before Halloween and was ready to go live in a couple of weeks before Christmas. I put up a poll to see which Robot Wars Series 2 machine I'd replicate into an Antweight first between Mace and GBH. Mace just won and would be one of the most fun replicas I've designed and built to date, as well as receiving a good amount of praise. GBH would follow and would be equally as entertaining to work on. I found that having the wheels at the back of the robot weren't the greatest, as I couldn't drive forward while lifting. It still works regardless, and if I decide to make an upgrade, I'll be sure to put the wheels at the front. After building both replicas, I asked my viewers if they wanted to see them both fight. I put together a simple short video of the battle and made plans to have one-off fights, where the machines fighting would be chosen via polls on my YouTube page. The Christmas special would premiere with Christmas Carnage 2, a replica versus veteran special. The show had some of the most engaging fights and a final battle which is probably one of my all-time favourites. A good way to end an interesting year of roboteering. But before we wrap up 2025, a word from my special guest, Anthony Murney.
Hi everyone, Anthony from Team Penny here, and the reason why I give Topbot and the original Sting from Antwoord Anarchy to Ross is very simple. I love Robo Carnage. I love what it's doing. I love that it's slowly building a fan base and people are really enjoying it. It reminds me of the early days of Antwoord Anarchy and how much fun that was putting them shows together to entertain you, the fans. And I can definitely see Ross going in the right direction with it. And I could see him definitely being the next big UK YouTuber show like Antwoord Anarchy. In fact, even better than Antwoord Anarchy. His replicas are fantastic, his fights are great, and the arena actually does help out the pit works and all that stuff. So it's really great to see how far he's coming. So I thought it was kind of nice to pass the torch. And the thing about Sting and Topbot, they're not really fit for the live event circuit that I have over here in Northern Ireland because were built mainly for YouTube. So instead of them sitting there gathering dust on the shelf, I think what better way to continue entertaining the fans by giving them to a show that will love them as much as I did, and you get to see absolute carnage. So what better way to give the machines to him? But as I say, I want to say, good on you, Ross. Keep it up. And to all the fans, please support the show. Please watch the episodes. Please watch the fights, because I'll tell you now, with what I've seen so far and when I kind of figure out what Ross is going to do, the next couple of series are going to be absolutely fantastic.
Thank you very much for your kind words, Anthony. It means a lot that I've got people such as yourself who are helping support what I do, and even though Robot Carnage is just like a little show on YouTube, the fact I've got people such as yourself and many others of you who have been with me throughout the journey this past few years, even if it was just building replicas or like some of the beetle weights or whatnot, I just want to thank each and every one of you for being that support to me. And next year, who knows? Well, in saying that, I do have a few things I want to do. I've got the rebuild of Paralysis I'm planning doing. I've got designs in the works already. I might also make Virion into a beetle weight. Maybe, or I have some ideas for another extra beetle weight. I'll see what happens. But as for Robot Carnage, I do have something lined up. It's possibly going to be the biggest project I've taken on, but that won't start until the start of the year. I've got a few things planned for that. But in the meantime, thanks very much for checking this video out. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you want to see some other stuff I've done, including what I've been up to in the past year and before that, or even some of the other yearly reviews, I'll have a link just here. And if you want to subscribe to see what I've got coming next, including this project I've got going and also like Paralysis, Virion and some other things, I will have a link just here. So that's it for this one. Have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I'll see you next year. Bye.